and thank you for joining us on this episode of One on One. Today we're focusing on women in tech. Now, despite conversations about gender diversity in tech, women are still underrepresented and underpaid in the industry. My guest today is Gopald, and she's the host of the Agile Africa Alliance, a virtual community of 2,000 plus Africa Agile practitioners, and has mentored hundreds of Africans in diaspora to a six-figures salary. Now, Anu is the first Black African certified Agile coach. She also launched the Women in Agile chapters for both Nigeria and Dallas-Fort, USA. By trade, she works as an organizational coach for leadership teams at places like Nike, AT&T, Toyota, Capital One, TD Bank, and the UK government. Thank you so much, Anu, for joining us today.
Thank you, Funmi, for having me.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Tell us, how did you get into tech?
Wow, that's an interesting story. So, initially, I wanted to study petroleum engineering.
Okay.
But my older brother filled my JAM form because I did my first degree in University of Ibadan.
Okay.
And he actually put computer science. And I passed my JAM, I passed my WAHEC, and I found myself as a computer science student at University of Ibadan. And 4, 5, 6 years with all those strikes in Nigerian University, I graduated with BSc Computer Science, and I fell in love with tech.
Okay.
And that is how the journey started. And I didn't regret it because that's where the passion for women development, especially youth development in the tech space, stemmed from.
All right. We were talking earlier behind the scenes. I would like you to tell us some of your challenges. Has been, like, reading your bio as the first Black woman. Has it been being a woman in tech?
It's been challenging, frustrating, especially not just breaking into the tech industry, but when you look at the organization workplace, the cultural bias for women in tech, it's really, really frustrating. Even in developed countries, you will only find few women, and mostly they're Indian women in tech, because they dominate the tech industry. So, the pay gap is also, when it comes to the gender between male and female, the women are not really treated well. Even getting promoted is another issue. I had a similar problem in an organization that I don't want to mention.
Okay. I
was to be the chief of Agile in that organization, and the next thing is a white male became the chief of Agile. And it was so frustrating that I had to leave that company. Because as a woman in tech, you have to fight for yourself. You have to fight for your worth. You have to work 5 times harder than men in tech.
Okay, so is this responsible? Because this leads to my next question, where he says that according to the National Science Foundation, there's a consistent trend that has been dubbed a leaky pipeline, where it's difficult to retain women in STEM jobs once they have graduated with a STEM degree. Do you think this is responsible? What's responsible for that?
Well, when you're working in a male-dominated industry, what do you expect? In male-dominated industry, it's really, really difficult for women to find their footing. And also with all these cultural bias and gender bias and, pay gap, promotion and challenges that women are facing in technology, most women doesn't want to even, step into that opportunity as well. Like, they would prefer to do something that, prefer to be in an industry that they have more women than going into an industry that is male-dominated. And it's also frustrating. There's that misconception that women doesn't belong in tech. It's male industry. And that's what people like us are fighting against. Because where you have women, women are the most hardworking, motivated. We take passion into the workplace. Yeah. And any organization that wants to be productive, profitable, that gender balance has to be in space. So I don't blame some women. I have a lot of friends that have actually, left. They've left the tech industry because of this gender bias.
So what do we do? How do we get more women to be in tech then? What do we need to do?
We have more male advocates, especially men in leadership positions, fighting for us women, just upping that gender balance to be in place. Providing sponsorship, mentorship opportunities for women, You know, when you walk into a boardroom, we need to have, even if it's 30% women and 70% men. I've been in boardroom meetings that I'm the only black woman and I'm the only woman. And a woman from Africa, what do you expect? So we need more male advocates, not just women advocates. And also, we also need our women, especially our female youths, to believe that they belong in this industry, because technology is the future of the world. It's even our present right now. There's nothing we can do without technology.
That's so true.
We live, we breathe it. Everybody have a mobile phone, right? And it's built by technology. So we need to have that confidence, that belief, believing in ourselves that we can do it.
Okay. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll take a quick break and I'll still be here with Anu. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. This is still one-on-one, and I have Anu Gopald with me, and we're talking about women in tech. Now, so you were talking earlier on about all of us having mobile phones and all of that. Now, the thing is, there's a lot of notion where many people feel like tech is a young people thing, 18, 21, maybe 30 max. And a lot of women, older are like restraining themselves from wanting to get into tech, for example. So I, for example, I'm interested in tech. I'm just fascinated by, by the whole thing and the conversations and all of that. And I really think I want to break into it. But sometimes they're like, Funmi, it's not mama like you, they're looking for that kind of place. So I would like you to clear that notion. Can older people still get into tech if they want to?
Why not? Tech is for everyone. Even if you're 80-year-old, you can decide to develop passion in tech and study, tech, have a tech career. I'm one of those 40 plus. I love tech. I'm passionate about tech, and that's not going to change because tech has revolutionized global economy, like the entire world. It's interconnected because of technology. Right? Gone are the days that we need to send letter, we need to, all those, traditional ways of communicating with each other. Everything is powered by tech. So tech is for everyone, and you're invited to come for the next
Surely, trust
Girls
me,
in Tech.
Surely, trust me, I'm going to join in. So my next question is about the fact that I think with every industry in Nigeria, a lot of people do things in silos, and many of the things, even in the tech industry in Nigeria, people are working, separately and differently. There has been no coming together, so to speak, and also like a one voice from the Ministry of Digital Economy, for example. What can we begin to do to change that, to have a lot of government backing? Because if you look at USA, for example, the government gives a lot of support to their to their tech companies, even when they are right or they are wrong, and they just give a lot of support. How do we begin to get to that level in Nigeria where the government can give people like you support?
Wow, interesting question. There are so many grants in developed countries, the way they are powering technology, helping large corporations and even small organizations, to be profitable and to be able to sustain their economy, because everything is powered by technology. I think the biggest challenge we have in Nigeria is trust. If I have a business idea and I share it with you, you can run with my idea. Although we have system in place like patents and stuff like that, but it's not robust enough to protect my vision and your vision, especially when you're sharing it with friends and family. But the challenge is until we change our mindset, it's a mindset thing, and we begin to work collaboratively instead of working in silos. Silo will not take us anywhere, and that's one of the biggest challenges that we have in Nigeria. When you look at why these countries are thriving, it's because of collaboration between the government, between the corporations, SMEs, and individuals, doing so many things to develop the economy. For the Ministry of Data Economy, right, they need to understand, what does the citizens need? What do we really need to do to build a data economy for our country? What could make us to be a country that can innovate faster than any other continent in the world? They need to start reaching out to individuals and organizations, both small and big organizations, and come together to discuss what do we need to do to revolutionize our country, our economy. Because the best talent and the best resources in the world is in Nigeria, is in Africa. It's that collaboration and communication and cooperation and working together that is missing.
Okay, so interesting answer that you've given. But let's talk about the fact that, the Nigerian tech space is, is still growing. But we see that in the ecosystem of the tech space, we have more of foreign venture capitalists giving funds than local investors. Some of my friends that are in tech, I think about 2 weeks ago, they were just complaining about how, but the thing is, once they get like funding from an international investor, then all the local guys now come up. And I'm like, what happened to the local guys in the first place? Why are the local investors not championing, the causes of these tech guys, and we wait for venture capitalists from, outside to come in?
Well, the wealthiest people in Africa are in Nigeria.
Just that you say that.
Yes, and even when you're looking at the first 50 wealthy people in the world, we have in Nigeria among us. But we're in a VUCA world, right? I want to put myself in their shoe as well, and I will put myself in the shoe of the startup founders. We're in a VUCA world. The world is very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Right? And I've realized that even with the programs I'm doing, right, it's mostly self-funded.
Okay.
When you go to organizations, corporate organizations for sponsorship, they're like, what's in it for us? Why do we need to support you? Maybe because of lack of trust. So because of the uncertainty and the volatile, startup ecosystem.
But that's what business is about, really. Because the truth is, many of these organizations go ahead and still put money in projects that are not necessarily tech.
Exactly.
And then they get to lose money. So isn't that what business is about? Taking some form of risk at the end of the day.
So one thing I've also realized is that Africans have low appetite for risk.
True.
And also, if I invest in you, what's the confidence level to show that that startup is going to be successful and I'm going to get my money back? And I'm also going to get the profits and, the stake that have been promised. And if Nigerian rich people can see the opportunity, and if they can see the talents of the Nigerian youth especially, our country will be better than this. Why do you think foreign investors are popping millions of funds into Nigeria? They saw opportunity. Nigeria, especially Africa, in the next 10 years is going to be a continent that can innovate faster than any other continent in the world. They've seen the potential. They've seen the big money. They've seen opportunity for investment in Africa. In 2018, we had about 87% foreign investors investing in African startups. And local is about 12-point-something%. But what happened in 2019? The number increased to 95%.
Oh, wow.
And the number of local investors reduced to, became 5%, which was 8% gaps. So if these African rich men can see the opportunities that these foreign investors are seeing, we don't need them. We have the wealth in Nigeria.
I think everyone answered my next question, where I was about to ask you about the potential. What do you see about the potential in the Nigerian tech space?
Oh, there are so many potentials. And we've seen the results. We've seen CUDA, we've seen Paystack, we've seen Flutter, and we've seen so many. Do you know that in 2019, we had about 400 startups in Africa, and Nigeria, of course, our country always have the highest in everything. But in the year of COVID, it rose to 646 startups. So that additional 200 plus startups were founded in Africa. Even in the year of COVID, that foreign organizations were shutting down. Because the youth saw different opportunities during the year of COVID and even beyond the year of COVID that we can use to transform our continent. So the number of startups will continue to increase. But I just wish that Africans can believe to trust each other, and also local investors can believe in these youths and start pumping the right investments to create a sustainable, profitable business that will not just benefit the founders and the stakeholders, will benefit the economy and also provide job opportunities for the youth.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, we'll take another break. So we'll take another break. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. And if you had been following us from the beginning, we're talking about tech space and women in the tech space and the challenges they have, currently going through. I still have Gopald with me. So Anu, tell me about this experience. You recently trained over 30 girls. What was that about?
100 girls.
Over 100 girls. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. This is the third edition. So what we do is to close the gender gap in technology, which is the ratio of 75% male and 25% female. And African and African American ratio is 3%. And when you look at the percentage of African women in tech, it's less than 1%. Not to talk of Nigeria as an example. So our goal is to bridge that gender gap and provide education, training, mentorship, career opportunities, and also entrepreneurship to our African youths, especially Nigerian female youths. So we had a 3 weeks boot camp, and these beautiful ladies, talented ladies, with no prior experience in technology, because our criteria is we are looking for girls that are passionate. You don't need to study computer science or computer engineering, but so far you have passion in technology. We had about thousands girls between the age of 18 to 25 that applied, and we chose the best 100 out of them. And they went through a 3 weeks boot camp where they learned machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence, web development, UI, UX, and also they did a 2-day training to learn the Agile methods. So Agile is the #1 innovation method in Silicon Valley, and the secret sauce of Facebook, all those silicon companies. So, and at the end of the 3 weeks boot camp, they did a 2 days hackathon to use everything that they've learned over the last 2 weeks plus to develop data, social, economic solutions for Nigeria, for Lagos.
Fantastic. I was there and I saw some of the innovative things that they came up with. Okay, so let's talk about infrastructure. And I like that you've mentioned Facebook. And my question stems from the fact that every time there's a glitch, maybe on Instagram, on Facebook, and everybody goes, and I'm like, okay, when will we begin to build our own Nigerian Facebook? But look, our internet structure here is not even, what are we going to do about that? Because the tech space needs to work vis-a-vis with the infrastructure right in place with that. What do we need to do, or how do we need to go about that?
Well, our infrastructure has improved compared to a few years ago, but it's still very poor. And there's no way you can build a digital economy without infrastructure, right? You are calling someone that is next beside you and it's telling you that the phone is switched off. But the phone is actually on. Oh, yeah. So we need the government and also private organizations to help build our infrastructure. Why do you think foreign investors are going to Ghana? Why are they going to Rwanda? Why not Nigeria? Not just the infrastructure, our bureaucracy is like crazy. You have to go through maybe 100 steps before you can even start a company, invest in Nigeria, which is really, really ridiculous. When I was in Toyota, I was so excited talking to the CEO. Oh, you will come to Nigeria because Toyota is in India. Toyota is in China, different countries. Right? And I said, oh, Nigeria, don't worry. But with all the bureaucracy and so many challenges that we have in our governance, they went to Ghana, which is really, really painful. So we need to invest a lot in the infrastructure to benefit the citizens, not to benefit the government or few percentage of the citizens.
True, very true. Okay, so let's wrap this up with giving a word of advice or encouragement is two-pronged. So one, for someone who is not in tech and watching you right now and is considering going into that. And then also for someone who's already in tech and probably going through like a lot of challenges. what advice will you have for both of them?
Oh, for those that want to go into tech, the opportunities are there. You can start by learning online. There's Coursera, there's Simplify, there's Udemy. Start from there and discover your passion. Because there are so many skills in tech. What am I excited about? What makes me leap out for joy when I wake up in the morning? Is it data marketing because it's still part of tech? Is it any of these cutting edge technology skills that we are training our girls for the Girls in Tech Bootcamp? Find your passion, find your calling. Tech is not just meant for men. Tech is meant for every man and woman created on this earth. People like us, we struggle. I call myself small but mighty, and a lot of people call me that. You can't shake me, right? You have to try very hard because this industry belongs to me as well. And I'm going to fight hard and to stay in this industry. So believe in yourself, believe in your dream, be confident, be bold. Anyone can achieve, become whoever they want to become in life. That's what our Nigerian girls need to do. Be bold, be confident. Believe that you can do it. And for those that are in tech, yes, it's frustrating, it's difficult. Do not quit, do not leave. Stay there. People like us, I was telling you during the break, I was told by some white crazy guy, go back to your village in Nigeria. What are you doing? You are taking our job. This leadership position belongs to us. No, it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to anyone that has the talent to sit on that seat.
All right, thank you so much, Anu. That's really an encouraging word, even for me that is not even in the tech space. And of course, I'm going to have this conversation with you afterward about going into the tech space.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us on One-on-One today. I hope you have learned a thing or two, and I have been encouraged. I personally have really been encouraged by Anu and the fantastic things she's doing in the tech space. We look forward to hearing more from her. Until another episode of One-on-One, I remain Funmi Unuajefe. Thank you for joining us today.